Hello everyone, this is Connor, and welcome back with more Islanders New Shores. Now I did not record my last island, but I wanted to record this one because it was just looking so beautiful. I'm still on my first high score run, making my progress upwards. I've hit the top page, and even though my score is still quite a bit back, I'm also, as you can see, many islands back from these folks, so I expect to catch up to at least some of them. We'll see if I can crack this roughly 30,000 hit of these real top scores, but I hope to. Now, I re-rolled this island 4 times in an attempt to try and get another sacred leyline island, because I do want to get another war chest, another group of sealed boons. But instead I got this kind of cool stellar island, and this layout is just gorgeous, so I wanted to show that. I also got Verger as my start, and I'm going to go ahead and crack open my sealed boons. The first one already gave me a re-roll. I don't really see an advantage to holding this, so I'm just going to go ahead and consume that. I just clicked on the sealed boon by accident while I was setting up the video, so I forgive that I did not display that one. But we also have 3 shrink buildings and a bargain. Okay. Bargain is tempting, and the earlier I use it, the less impactful maybe the 5 blocks will be. We'll see. So yeah, now I have 4 rerolls, I have a bargain, I have 3 shrinks and 2 vergers, and I've already unlocked 2 building packs. Normally I would go seaweed, but I'm kind of verger pilled these days. I think verger is powerful, and although I do want both of these early, I'm finding that across the whole course of the island, seaweed does not give you very many points. You just don't get very many farms. And maybe that's just, my random distribution odds, but that being said, I maybe still prefer it to Brickmaker, although I do like Masons. In an unusual twist, I think I am actually going to take Brickmaker and aim for the Masons. This is only enabled because I already have so many Vergers to score my initial points, so I can delay Seaweed a little bit, but I'll take Brickmaker into City into Mason, and I can probably hold off on placing my first City Center until I already have Masons. Yeah, I mean 7 Verger is a little silly. So, basic premise, what's the layout of this island going to be? And I only have about 2.5 hours to record, so I might try and play a little faster. I know I always say that, and I always fail, but we'll see if my very real time constraint today means that I either don't finish the island or that I do manage to move quickly. So, very real, what's the shape of this island going to be? Obviously, we'll fill this in with city. We can do some great wall platform action off of these walls. If I can put masons right along the bottom lip here, then I'll do a temple right above it. Now, in terms of these vergers, I think this area over here being so much larger and green is going to be more impactful. I could try and fill this little island, but pretty quickly I think it would be filled up. So maybe we try and cover this whole area with trees. I'm kind of carving out a niche for myself and having like one big trees and statue and blossom area and then one big city area, and these seem like the obvious 2 choices for this island. I would love to use this middle section just for the aesthetics. This is really a beautiful island generation, but at least initially that's what my heart is telling me. So if all of my industry is going to be over here and all my city stuff is going to be over here, maybe put some water platforms in the middle here. That seems really high impact. Just creating a larger oneness of space. The optimal island is just a featureless flat void. So where am I going to be putting my markets is the question I'm trying to solve ahead of time right now, because I'm already thinking in terms of where my market's going, where my warehouse is going, where my industry building's going. So maybe like one market out here or a market on a wall platform here. So having a warehouse here would be fine. Having a warehouse here would be fine. I need a large area of unbroken sand, so it has to be one of these 2, because I'm not willing to take up city space here. So, advantage of going on this side is there might be a good warehouse right here that also gets some of my lumber architecture, but that really does seem like kind of a loser play. Like, no offense to people who would make it, but I think putting a warehouse out here on the hope to barely tag my sand and to barely tag bad lumberjacks over here doesn't feel right. So I think I'm just going to play pretty close in over here, hoping to get a warehouse like right here or something. And the reason that I'm placing these and not verdure is just that I arbitrarily decided to. I don't really see a strong advantage either way. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, I can't place it that far forward. That was immediately a mistake. But I can do this. Yeah. 2 good initial 15s. Right into the city pack as described. I don't want to place this until I have Mason, which will be coming up next. So if I am willing to take some penalties, I could place this maybe 11 points right here. I could also go for, I'm sure there's a 15 somewhere out here. I think just for these initial 3, I'm not going to eat any negatives yet. I think you can eat the negatives later, but for right now, I'm going to try and convert maximum points, which then means placing this, and maybe, you know, I know this is in direct conflict to what I just said, but maybe for the brickyard, I am okay with the negative. I think the other option would be here, which I actually like just fine. My next sand pit is probably going to be out here facing that way again, so this is equivalently likely to get tagged or missed, as it would be over here. So I want to try and place my next one so that it doesn't intersect all 3 of these for negatives, but I probably will have to get 2. So let's take this 18, avoid the negative, as I initially described would be a good thing. We have unlocked so many buildings already. Lumber is generally good with the verdure strat. Yeah, I mean, seaweed has really fallen in my estimation. Second city center is dope. I do not have neighborly, but I do have shrink, which is not at all the same and not anywhere near as good right now. Okay, so let's get into proper verdure tech. So I want to cover this whole area in trees eventually, and then flower a huge group of them. There are, however, 2 clusters of flowers that I will need to avoid the entire time. So I could start at this edge and kind of work my way in. Find something like this 11 that creates a bunch of trees, and then go the next one here, and then one, oh, there's actually a 3rd group up on the peak, okay. Because it would be tempting to just immediately plop this in the middle here and try and find whatever, like 14 or 15 leaves a bunch of trees, but I have to be cautious creating new flowers. I'm going to start over here on the low ground because it's higher points, and then I'll work my way in. And, I mean, I already have 7 of these to place, right? So it's going to be a lot of this area is getting covered. If I can find a 15, yeah. This appeals to me. And then there's even a good one still right here. Well, good being relative, but truly shocking that that still tags that flowering tree. So it really needs to be like here. Yeah, that's a lot. That 12 seems like maybe the best I can do. I'll hunt around a bit. That 12 is more trees. Trying to move this cursor individual pixels to get the truly most optimal placement. See how quickly I'm playing? See how great I'm doing? Okay, and then I'd love to get some trees up on that high ground. I could place one going a little bit onto the sand. I mean, trees can be on sand. It just doesn't seem inclined to spawn as many. Verdure's an interesting building. Also, none of these are flowering, so I have a fair amount of potential for stretching over here. Yeah, that actually seems like it's worth it for 14. It's unfortunate that this flowering tree is on the outskirt, not in the middle, but Sometimes you gotta take what you get. Sometimes you can also do a verger like this that just barely touches the water, because the fishing spot is the most valuable of the things a verger can give you. So that's why it's a 17 pointer, which is kind of nice. I think if I find it again, I will be inclined to take a 17. I wanted to look around a bit more first, but having looked, I think the 17 is good. I also could take a slightly lower score that makes a bunch of trees. It does matter where the blooming trees are, though, so let's keep that in mind. Looks like the blooming trees are always going to be on the outskirt unless I do something like this. And then there's a good placement right here. Yeah, that's kind of fun. I know I'm like not perfectly utilizing this space, but keep in mind there will be more verdure in the future, so I'm trying not to overplay my current options. Okay. Yeah, so I've created a lot more trees and flowers around here. Into masons, you love to see it. Already got 2 of them. Okay, 65. I can probably get 65 without placing city centers still. I don't know if I'm going to make it all the way to a possible neighborly, but yeah, let's just keep going, trying to avoid the city center for a bit longer. Might end up being futile, but it's not like it's costing me points. I need to place this stuff eventually anyway. My heart says that 9 is probably as good as it gets. They did make a bunch of nice trees. And I am right between 2 of these blooming tree -5s that I am just barely avoiding, so 9 right there, and then dodge these 2 and get some good scores coming in. This tree type in general is larger and more spread out than the green trees, so that's going to impact my score, I think. It's like these lumberjacks now are not the 40 point that you might be able to get from green trees, because these palm trees are more spread out. So now the ultimate question: do I tank every minus that this lumberjack is ever going to put upon me by placing it now? I'd love to avoid that for at least a little bit, if possible. I don't know how long it will be possible for, but at least for right now, I think I can. And I can take some sort of 12-ish, 14-ish score here, or a more centralized 13 is probably better. And then I have to do 1 mason. Okay, so I did say if I can place these low here, I would want to do the temple right here. That does seem, the logic holds up to my initial appraisal. It's a shame that this won't be scoring off of the brickyards, but you have to make some sacrifices. City center's looking juicy. Yeah, okay. One of the advantages of taking a pack like Lighthouse is that because it only contains 1 guaranteed building, you'll get more of your other common buildings, and I'm always happy to see more houses. This 14 is still available. Okay, now I could simply place a flat 32 point lighthouse somewhere, but with how many points I need, there's obviously going to need to be 1 city center at least, maybe 2. And I'm going to start shifting the build in this direction. Now that looks to be a little over 4 buildings in from the wall, but then there's spots like this where it is 3, so that's probably fine. Do I want to tank this minus 17 already? This would mean I would then have to place out a bunch of my mansions, but it is a lot of long-term value to just have this placed here. Looking at this bar, I think I might take one shot at getting a better boon. And I am tempted to just, crack this boy immediately. That's kind of a fun one. Actually, if I'm just going to place it for a 32, I should definitely do this 32, because that might actually get got by a fish kite. Oh yeah, there's lots of good high up lighthouses around here. That's cool. I'm glad that the high up placement actually does convert pretty well to points. So I have a 34 over here, or I could take like a 30. Noticeably fewer points, but it will absolutely score on the fish kite, which is plus 15 later in the game. It also takes up a little bit of space that I might want for something else, but not a lot. If there was a 30 like fully out here, I think I would be more inclined to take it. I mean, maybe a 29 is similar enough that I shouldn't bother splitting hairs. Yeah. This would be better if I waited for seaweed. So I have to either place it or lumberjack is kind of the decision point that I feel myself sitting at. And I could place a lumberjack somewhere more like here, where I think it's going to hurt fewer parks, but it is going to hurt parks. So just placing this now is like, minus 20 or let's say somewhere between 20 and 32 across the course of the island. Versus placing the lighthouse now. Once I start placing houses, I have to place lighthouse first because it dislikes mansions and houses. Shamans as well. It hates everything. I just don't think... I think this actually is the play. I know that I could save it for more points, but I don't actually think it's worth it. I think I need to just take kind of a more out-of-the-way 29 now. I'm trying to leave some space right here on the ridge for buildings to score on my temple. But yeah, we'll take that. That'll benefit the fish kite, which is going to be 15 points, versus placing it out here where it probably would not be tagged. Now I will take seaweed, immediately detrimenting my lighthouse, but so it is. I'm not too bothered by it, honestly. Can I hold off on placing any of this? I mean, even if I place all of this for high points, I'll need to place some of my other buildings. So I guess on that merit, let's think about where the seaweed farm needs to go so I can then place the city center. And then start placing mansions. Yeah, it's all going to start falling. I don't think I want to do this stuff yet. I might try and hold it as long as possible. Because even if I placed, a 13-point seaweed farm and then call it 15 points of seaweed fields, probably 17 points. So that's 30. And then the lumberjack, even if I place a really good one, is only 30, which is not enough. So yeah, it's time for the city center. I'll just need to eat the negative, which is okay. Now, I would love to just put wall platforms, or water platforms in here. So I think I'm not willing to take up that space. But maybe I am willing to build out here, or out here, a little further down. It would be good to place this in such a way that I can score the city center off it, which maybe implies it should be like here. Yeah, maybe I just don't need to give this prime billing, and I can just assume that I'm moving in this direction. So with that placed, we can eat a -15. And then start doing some nice mansions. And if my first boon is a neighborly, I will be disappointed but understand. I should have been more thoughtful before placing all of this about plateau. I think I'm going to assume my plateau can clip in right here. So I just need to place on this side of the buildings, which is easy enough to do. That was kind of already my plan. I am most tempted to use the small size to tag all three. That's kind of the ideal, right? And somehow that is not quite enough space to slide a mansion into. So I need to increment this slightly over and then double check that it hasn't jumped to block me. It's okay though, glad I double checked. Still not. Maybe it is jumping. When I look at that there, I don't see much of a gap. Yep. Okay, we're gonna have to go even further over to convince it that I know what I'm doing and this is what I want. Might just have to be like that. I don't know if I can get it much closer. Yep, that time it jumped again, fully blocked me. Obviously I could just place this one, but I think that will score off of a potential plateau, which I do want to take advantage of, so that jumped, I physically saw it. That jumped, I also saw it. That even jumped? Wow, that one was far over too. That was like almost here. That's even bigger than the gap I placed before. Over time, I will develop an intuition about how far over you have to go to prevent this sort of stuff, but right now I'm still learning it, so it's a lot of trial and error. Did not expect that to go. Okay, that did not jump, and it's a little bit more space than I need, but not much. Maybe the central area can just be farming. I have grown to respect farming. I was too harsh on it initially, for sure. So I can place it over here for a slightly higher chance of getting some eventual warehouse contact. Now, the real secret, and I only really thought about this last island, is if you're going to be able to chain the fields from mill to mill, those are the fields you want to place first. So you actually don't want one big block, you want like a line, because then when you place the second mill, it'll tag all of those fields, but not the first mill, if that makes sense. Hopefully those count as touching. I'm not exactly sure how the ridge overlap works. Did not get neighborly. Okay, well, sustainable does let me be a little more carefree with my lumber placement. Travel's unusable. I could re-roll this, but I think sustainable 3 is probably worth maybe 80 points over the course of the island. I don't think that's worth using a re-roll on. It's not great, but I still need to remember I have bargain and shrink. If I had a building worth bargaining, I would go ahead and do it, but need to wait a bit. It's also good to save bargain if you have duplicate as well, because you can bargain to get a building on the right and then duplicate it. Okay, so I take back C to displacement in order to get the boon. Now back into some mansions. You can see that air gap that I created to make all of this function. Not ideal, not awful. So, yeah, that is far enough. Yeah, just like that. This 25 might be benefited by a future plateau, so I will wait. Now that I have the sustainables, I can probably start playing back here. Very important not to kill trees yet, so I have a 31, a bunch of 20s, 28. I think like a 27 over here doesn't even get the 31, so. Oh. Love to see it. Probably could have not placed this house or something based on that point score, but too late now. Okay, I can hold the shaman for a bloom over here and then get like a 70-point shaman. Alternately, I could go ahead and place it to boost building scores over here. That is also high value. Like, it's a lower score, obviously, but it can still be like a 30-something point shaman, and then a bunch of houses will end up seeing it across the course of the run. I think I like that plan more. Will benefit the houses. So grab this random 30. And then there might not be any houses that touch everything, but I think I'm just not going to be able to get a good score with all of this minusing. I could, instead of a 30, take a 18 or 20. That's much more, I don't want to say central, but much more placed such that I am able to house it. So is this 10 points better or 14 points better than this? I don't instinctively think it's 10 points better, because this is mostly going to be mansions anyway, so yeah, let's just take the 30. Having the points now is also convenient versus having to wait for them. Points now are worth more than points later. Need to block one more ray, and then I'll have a 30 again. Yep. And looks like these are close enough to link through each other, which is cool. I do want to get maximum points from detecting the mill, at least right now, so I'm not going to go all the way into a line, but once I've ringed the mill once, I'll build a line stretching out from it. And seeing my remaining buildings, knowing what I have coming up, I could start placing houses out here. That's pretty good. Sadly, these boons are not things like terraces that sort of immediately jumpstart your city, but so I think I either do 2 houses or 3 seaweed fields. My heart says place the houses. I guess it has to be this one. Okay. Or I could do 1 house, 1 seaweed field. That's a 4-point loss if I immediately get a second farm, so not backbreaking. Lots of easy points up there. Could take a 23 with some minuses, 22 with some minuses. Alternately over here, I still have like a 27, 29. So obviously this is the play. Well, it's not totally obvious because grouping them does have an advantage, but getting the points now is also meaningful. And place this over here where I know it will boost future buildings. Alternately, this area is really dense with trees, so I could assume that I'm going to place over here. I think let's go up here. Trying to keep in mind pace of play. Now I need a 16-point house to let me move on. Fish are going to need plateau soon if I want to cash that in. But, so yeah, we already have a 28. It's interesting that these towers are blocking the rays, so just moving this around a bit. Yeah, get a 30. Obviously it's better to wait until I have many more fields down. Maybe I should have been stretching them this way, but I need 90 points. I don't want to place anything I'm holding. I want to hold every building. So, given that I can't do that, a 36 is a good start. I'm not as worried about placing this fountain early because I think my mansions are going to keep going this way, so their detection is not... So anyway, you want to place all the mansions that the fountain will touch before you place the fountain, and I don't think any of this area is going to be mansions. That's what I was trying to express. So I think my mansion is going to keep going this way, so then my next fountain on like a wall platform here-ish will get them instead. Now, that previous point that I was discussing, I have like 14s or 18s with negatives out here, but I can also just place a 28 back here. There's also a 21 up here. If I could... Yeah, I think something like this that also allows me to place this is going to be pretty meaningful, I think. So let me fight for that. The 26 is too far over. I'll just take a 25. Actually, I can go a bit further and get a 26. Love it. So far, this is going quite well. Those Verger were not high point value, but I'm going to convert that area into a lot of points, I hope. Could place mill. Placing mill now is probably minus 20 versus the seaweed fields are going to be minus 8 per what I would ideally get out of them. Did not mean to place that. Now I can't take that back. That's fine. Whatever. Just misclicked. Maybe a house or two. Maybe I come back to some of these decent house scores. I'm actually shocked how difficult it is already to get all three of these. I think because they're in that diagonal line. Plateau. Perfect. Okay. Now that the plateau is going down, I can return to mansioning. And sure enough, I can place it anywhere back here. I'm going to place it here. And do I want to make sure this is placeable? I went through all that trouble to create that gap. And the weird thing is, this is placeable. Like that, it lets me clip in. But this one, it's being really picky about for some reason. Spin for good luck? No. Okay, so let's place this here, but like a millimeter in. And hope that I can find a legal placement as a result. quite. Okay, this is just me hiking it upwards, so I'm not actually sure I'm moving it in any further. I guess, yeah, let's go 2 little pixel clicks inward. That looks placeable. Yeah, and it doesn't wiggle almost at all. So that's almost going to be perfect space utilization. Still get a 26. Love that. These are good mansions. I am pleased. Alternately, I could leave good fountain spots. Good fountain spots are something I'm becoming more aware of as I keep playing, but I think... Okay, so sadly this 18 does not reach. And I think this 23 does not create a placeable... Well, maybe another opposite L. I guess let's try that. Can I do... Yeah, good. Okay, so this is the placement that I want. 23. That still allows a 15, and we'll check and see if the longer L is better in time, whenever we are able to check that. Okay, need to... There we go. So this is close enough to touching that the fields consider it in contact. I could get a 17 instead, but I think I am interested in building over towards a second mill. Well, I guess why is the question. Because I want to be able to place the mill, and once I place the mill, I want to be able to ring it in fields. Wait a minute. Okay, so the only thing that matters before I place this is how many I place, not where they are. Because I guess, so the last couple that I place, I should do the mill first and then the last couple of fields to get the bonus score off the mill. But if my whole point is getting bonus score off the mill, I can just get it here. But we have bonus score at home. So that logic holds. I will continue placing around this and just hold on to this mill. Gonna undo that to check my boon, as always. I don't want either of these. Get out of here. Verger and Demolish. Okay. Am I a Demolish guy? If I get 2 temples, or, you know, big Resort Oasis or a big Hermitage, I need to learn that difference. 2 Vergers, good, not great. Like, I already have Verger in my building pack, and I just haven't been given very many of them. Demolish is at least quite unique. Not exactly sure. I'm going to take Demolish, but I do feel uncertain if that is the correct play. This is, again, the movement that I want, and back to the mansion stock. Okay. So we love a 26, and I don't think it's going to get any better than that. Like, I don't think there's a clever way to place 2 here where they're both this high scoring. I guess I can get like 2 18s or 1 26. It's kind of what I'm probably looking at. So I could do 18, 20. Oh, okay, that is way better. I'm glad I double checked. Just because I barely detect this corner here. This is why the points for undo, for not undoing, I should say, are a trap. You get a lot of value by checking things and undoing them, and you're not always able to just infer what the good placement is going to be. I'm not, at least. Maybe a truly elevated being. Okay, so I at least am not an elevated enough being to always know when a placement is going to go up in value. Some of this I'm figuring out as I go. Not to break the illusion, but... We love a 44. alternately a 41. Yeah, these are already not getting the city center, so I bet they're good houses. Yeah, I mean, so this is bad for circus, but good for like every other consideration. I probably want to place this mansion first. I'm gonna place and replace this until I get the shape I want. Do I want that square house there? It's good for temple. Good for aviary, maybe. Yeah, let's lock it in. Ooh, okay. Additional city center is fun and powerful, probably. So, I have a good city center up here, or alternately I could wait for neighborly. I'm a long way away from a boon though, so I think I just placed this, and 27 is a fine score. I can't eat that big of a negative. I don't value it being out here as much yet. Maybe I will eventually, but right now at least that's the play, and already these are getting pretty good. 25, yeah. Yeah, I got a lot of good stuff going on here. Haven't yet gotten the boons I need to get this area up and running, but that's fine. One thing at a time. Speaking of one thing at a time, let's go back to mansions. We love a 15 pointer, and then I still haven't gotten the reverse of that. Let me try one more time. Hey, immediately rewarded, and because of how I placed this L, it's not placeable. So yes, we are obviously going to take this 18. It got all like stuck there. That was interesting. I could slide it at first, but then I couldn't. Yeah, 18 is good. Good enough, at least. And does that leave me enough room for a sick 53-point fountain? Sure does. Sure does. A lot of mansions in here. I think only now they are out of good scores. I think I don't have another mansion that I like right now. If I had a different shape L, I would maybe place it there, but... So all that said, I guess it's time for a 56. 56 is really good. I'm pleased with this so far. They're not like wildly high scores. I'm not getting my 40-point houses yet or anything, but there is time. There's time for that. So over here is only good if I get a range up. I could place it here, which limits to some degree how I can do my wall platform, which I'm nervous about. So maybe I place it here. This might also be too far out though. Can't place it along here because of the plateau, which is fine. I would rather have the plateau there anyway. I could also just get a decent point score out here and ignore the temple. That seems terrible. I have so many boons still to go. I have 6 on my initial lap of the island, so maybe I need to just bet on getting a temple range increase. Or maybe it ends up coming off the end here at an angle, and these are all good anyway. A little challenging to predict, but... What next? What is next for me? Maybe back to houses. A lot of kind of uninspiring stuff down there. Yeah, just a little bit closer in would be really high scoring, but 16 is fine. Alternately 26 over here. 27. I'd love to place these in the opposite order somehow. Like that. So I can place this even further in. Even much further in. It feels like it clips in further when I start from the other side. I don't know if that's true, but... Oh, it's just jumping. Okay. Yeah, you can see how far out of alignment with that, this little line right here. You can see how far out of alignment I am, and then when I place it, I'm right lined up. So can I avoid that? Do I want to? Does it matter? I did get a 28 just by wiggling it around though, so let's build that and run off into the sunset pleased with our 28. Yet again, same issue with the mason. I mean, masons around the back here are starting to get kind of devious. That feels very scoreable, and this is kind of cool looking. And maybe at some point I'll wall platform, or I'll shrink it up here. Remember, I do have 3 shrinks stored up. 3 shrinks, a bargain, a sustainable, 2 demolish. Okay. I mean, part of me is just like bargain a city center, place it out here, start slamming high point value fishers and huts, but I think I can do better. Are there many more of these? Yeah. There's still plenty of fields, this one's probably a mistake, but fields that I can tag with my next mill, but not bother my current mill. So I can place a couple more out here, tag my current mill for 5 points each, but then have a location that detects the field and not the mill. That's what I was trying to express kind of clumsily. If only... Oh, okay. That kills 2 trees to get 14 points. My heart says that's not worth it, but my heart also needs to score some points. I guess back to houses. Is this spot unplaceable because of that bucket? I guess not. I mean, this is obviously placeable. I would need this to be the other Tetris block to slide into there. Let's just take the 20 while we see it and then come back for the other 20. Yeah, because that's only 16. That's not a 20. I think the different shape penalizes me there in a way that I predicted. This just feels like such an optimal shape to fit in here, like not leaving very much room along the side is desirable. Alternately, oh, it doesn't fit into there, it's the reverse. Okay, so this one fits in. 19 points. I need to place these 8 mansions somehow, so probably prioritize that. Then, do I want to place these 5 seaweed fields? It's plus 5 points on any fishers that I place. In return, it's minus 4 on my next seaweed farm, assuming that the seaweed farm can tag the field, because then it would score 4 points, not the 8 that the field would score on the farm. Alternately, I could hut, which gets around some of these problems. If only there were... Oh, I might want that spot for a mason, or else I would just grab it, because it does look cool. think this was the house I was looking at previously. So I think that hut does not block it. Place that hut in a little corner space there that nothing else is ever going to want. Maybe a wall, but I simply cannot plan for walls. Okay, so Fortune Teller is probably my ideal duplicate target. That's a really good 21. Why do I think Fortune Teller is an ideal duplicate target, or bargain target, I should say, in this case? Firstly, it doesn't really need a special place to place it, because most of your points come from the hotbar, not from the actual map. You don't need to like leave a large space for it or anything. Secondly, I can get this up to like 300 points if I do really well. Probably more like 200, 250, realistically. Take a couple of these. Could go ahead and pull this ripcord. It's getting 4 points better every time I get a field, and they are common. I don't want to do my parks until I bloomed this area, and I do have, you know what, I'm going to get my next boon. I'm going to unlock it, and then undo that building. Bargain again or Wisp? Wisp is good. Wisp is high. Oh, I did not. Oh no, I went to press escape, but I pressed 1 by accident, and I guess you can use those hotkeys. Maybe I don't want those to be bound. Can I unbind them? Well, that's... I guess I don't have to think about Wisp. I'm not certain that's the choice I would have made. Okay. How to play from here. So I do want to probably use those on the Fortune Teller, but I don't want to have my locks. Bargain's rough. The 5 choice limit, you really want that to affect building choices, not boons or islands. And I have a lot of boons still to go, and I'm probably going to be through most of my building choices before I use up all these. Having 2 bargains is a lot. So if I wanted to use my bargains on Fortune Teller, I would almost be inclined to just place my current Fortune Teller now. Just so I can go ahead and spend the bargains, just so I can have the 10 locks burning through my building choices, if that makes sense. And then I would like just not even choose a boon here, or maybe re-roll it a couple times. I do have 3 re-rolls remaining. So that cost me about 200 points, maybe 150 on this Fortune Teller to place it now. It does get me buildings, which is, a benefit. Would I pay 500 points to not be able to make my next 10 choices? I mean, I guess there's no such thing as a bad building pack right now. I just can't choose my boon. So maybe my next couple of boons I don't get to choose yet. This is a little complex. I could also just like bargain a city center, or nothing else is even really defensible. And a city center I don't think is correct. I just think it's defensible. Because I am still learning this game, and I'm curious to explore weird edge cases like this, I really should have a wisp. I wanted to press escape so I could look at my building bar and identify how many of these I had. These are low enough numbers that I might not have even taken wisp, but bargain does not thrill me. So I guess I just take like a 117 that I don't think is gonna hurt my temple. And let me double check that all the buildings that score 3 points or more. Yeah, I don't know if this is good. I truly don't. But I am interested in finding out. So yeah, let's do it. 117 bargain, and I don't have to use the second one yet, so I can save it for activating a duplicate. Because now that one is placed, and I'm already going through my first 5 locks, like I just wanted to get the choice locks started as soon as possible, and now they're started, so I can actually wait through the next 4 choice locks. Yeah, I mean, this isn't like a big deal. Whatever. I'm not placing either of them immediately anyway, so. So there's a 23. That's still really good. And obviously the plateau is quite good. I think I want to place it out here. It's going to tag my temple, and it also might benefit my seaweed fields, and also this is going to be a really good warehouse spot. So for a bunch of reasons, this feels impactful. None of my boons matter for this. I definitely don't want to shrink it. And it's also just 67 points, which is like, that's a lot. That's a big number. Do I think I am equally likely to be detected by the temple? Oh, wow, 76. Okay, I lose a lot of buildable space, but because I'm placing a warehouse here, almost certainly, I only need space for 2 warehouses deep. It's 10 extra points in return for not even being able to put like a market here. And it's also much further in, which I think gives it a much better chance of being detected by temple, which I think is not an issue. I think the temple would get it either way, but let's go with that 76. This is fine. I don't really care. Either way, I'm not placing them right away. 37 out here versus... yeah, see all these houses have just really prevented possible lighthouse locations. Still haven't gotten more verdure, by the way. I don't know if that's going to happen, but 7. Also have not gotten a second seaweed farm. As described, it just doesn't really seem to happen. You just don't get them. I don't know why, but it seems like once you have 1 on these later islands, later as in not like the first, once you have 1, it just stops giving them to you. Do I just want to slap a 29 and a 26? I do need to start thinking about fortune teller numbers at this point, but I generally don't think a ton about the fortune teller until I'm like almost at the end of the island, because you just gotta unlock buildings, and like I can't calculate every point for the whole course of the island. I already spend way too long doing that. These are good. This is really good, and I'm not gonna have another city center in this area soon. So I'll take that, making sure there's another that only penalizes on the fisher. And then I'll take this, which is the same. It tags everything. It just also gets the -4 here. And I'm aware there were 5 points on the table here. 5 points is not a number that or 10 points for both of them. It's not a number I'm going to go to bat over. Not compared to the potential score increase of holding until I get a second farm. I could just lighthouse next. That's simple. I only need 23 points, which I think I can get from a hut. So maybe this is 1 hut a clock. similar logic, I don't think my next city center is going close enough to be tagged by that. Ooh, it would be nice to be able to take terrace here. Realistically, does this mean that I'm missing a terrace? It doesn't seem likely. Like, maybe I get terrace in back-to-back building packs, but let's just remember I have a terrace coming next. Wow, immediately punished. Immediately punished for my placements. Although I guess, like, maybe I would have taken this, but oh yeah, I forgot these are 7 points either way. So it actually does not punish me in the way that I was implying. This would be a good future city center. Maybe I don't want to place this yet. Maybe I save it for... I mean, a water platform out here just to enable the city center does not thrill me. This is also not, like, incredible, but... That's unplaceable. That is positive. I don't initially know what to do with this shaman in city center, so we're just gonna go back to the fields. I need 113 points in approximately 6 buildings to be worth it for the fortune teller. That's probably fine. I'm very nearly to the point of wanting to place this. Its score is getting high enough that I don't want to just leave it on the table. Circus is not good yet. My houses are too spread out. But honestly, the houses are probably not good either, because I've moved far enough out from my point boosters. Like, obviously a wall platform. No, because the first one has to be the temple. I mean, maybe I just do this and start scoring in this direction. I also have second shaman, so I could get a shaman down somewhere and get like a positive score up here and then place some statues, or some mansions, pardon. I'm still hoping for a bloom over here and then like a 50 or 60 point. I already have like a 27, and that's not even, I'm not even really trying to block the rays with that. I was just looking at trees, but immediately we encounter problems. And I still have several bargain locks. I guess let's, for this very moment, not concern ourselves with the fortune teller and just trust that I will, over time, net up more buildings. And this placement is tempting to me. If I get neighborly, this is bad, because neighborlying, like right here, is going to be huge. That actually might even be worth re-rolling for, especially... I unfortunately have the bargain, so that... Oh, but this gets me a boon. Okay, so I can lunge at the boon, and then I have the bargain locks. But I can look at the boon and not choose it. I can close the boon menu as long as I press escape and not 1. Let's do that. Again, I'm not actually placing this, I'm just unlocking my next boon by ticking my points over on it. And ding ding, undo, go into boons, look at boon pack. Oh, yeah, I remember it was terrace. Okay, well I definitely want a terrace. I'm glad I did this. I would prefer terrace to wisp for a bunch of reasons. I know no one's forcing me to take Wisp, and it is frequently fun to try and calculate. It's just sometimes too much for my small brain. So I could terrace right here. This is wild, but I could go terrace into city center and then use this high ground as my next house's location. Generally, I'm inclined to group stuff up more, so maybe that means here, maybe that means here. I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's a lot. I don't have a duplicate to use on the terrace. I don't want to shrink it. So none of this stuff matters. I might actually want to bargain it. So, do I go this way or this way? Or do I go over here? Lots of options. Right here is kind of fun because I have that shaman that I'm only partially utilizing, but up here I do already have a city center. And I guess on that premise, this would be plus 10 on the terrace if I had this placed already. Unfortunately, I just don't think I can justify it. Like, this space is worth so many fewer points than this space on the temple, among other things. Like, the temple is not even the whole story. But maybe this terrace isn't good. I was expecting... Grab the wrong building. I was expecting some of this to score up, but I guess there's just not enough going on in this little area. So, because my city centers are, at this point, too far away. I could just plop this here and do the city center here. It's a lot of points for the city center as well. And if I'm going to do that, I think I do place this shaman first. Double check that the good terrace still exists, because maybe I can tag those shamans from high ground houses, which would be a lot of points. And you want to play shamans before city centers because you get a smaller minus that way. This is like kind of classic Islanders tech. I don't know for certain this is the best way to do it, but I think I'm going to attempt it. Again, I am learning. This is closer to the shamans, but higher up. Oh, this just being right on top of them probably gives me the absolute best chance of tagging them with houses. Now I got, yeah, some immediate 19s and even maybe 1 or 2 14-point, 20-point mansions. It's kind of odd, but that does create buildable space, which is very valuable. And this will also be locked. That's okay. Oh, yeah, second terrace. I was supposed to remember that was coming, and I just straight up did not, but that's okay. It worked out okay anyway. I think I determined that the terrace over here was not worth very much. I no longer need to place out here because I've already got the city center down. So unless I want to bargain a city center, which I do not, I can just take this flat 60 here and not quite flat. So maybe let me see if I can get these to be actually level with each other. Still not quite flat and not close enough. Come on. Give it to me. Oh, that looks so flat. It has to be. Come on. Yeah! Alright, so this whole thing is now buildable, which is really fun. Yeah, there's going to be some good points to be had up here. Overall, that worked out really well. I also probably should have checked if any of this stuff improves the score of the terrace, but I don't think it does. Just from a little ocular pat down of my building bar. Time to start my second bargain. So do I want a terrace or... I think I obviously want the fortune teller. I was considering both, but the fortune teller's simply too many points to ignore. I mean, this one is 138, and my building count should keep going up for at least a bit longer. So this is probably like 200 points, we'll call it. Okay. Now I have to take the aviary, doesn't really matter to me. And my aviary's base score has gotten up to 55. It is a little challenging to grow because it hates city centers, which is an interesting choice, but... So I just need to get a score higher than 55, and it'll be worth a little bit more next time. Let me try this 27 to see if I can tag that. I can. Okay, but I think that might actually be the last one. I didn't see any other fields that would get a boost from the previous mill. So now I need to start placing them stretched out from the mill as far as I can until the next mill touches them. I don't know if that made sense to you, but I'm going to place one or two more fields. I guess just one. No, it looks like two. I'm going to place two more fields because I don't think they'll tag the next mill, so I want to give the mill the points for them. And then... maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I'm like really dying on this sword for 8 points, you know? I do have a whole nother mill to place as well. You know what? I think I have talked myself into it. I think I've been really holding out here, and, well, blah, blah, blah. It's like some real fortune teller math, right? That I can do 2 buildings and then earn 6 buildings, which would be good. But I could also just start doing my houses up here. Also, my next boon is going to be Wisp unless I do 5 locks. And I think with my current buildings, I do not want a Wisp. So I can't take my next boon. So I'm locked to these boons for at least a bit. No lumberjacks, no bloom. I think if I place these now, I'm effectively costing myself maybe 20 points total. That doesn't feel great. It also doesn't feel like maybe the biggest penalty possible. So I'm looking at what else I have to place. I mean, I could just keep it up with these 20-something houses. 20-something points, not 20-something buildings. But, dang. Challenging decision. I feel myself swayed to just place the mills, in part because I need to play something, and it is good to place pretty high scoring things while you're trying to increase the value of your fortune teller. So we'll take a 50 and then a 41, and those are totally fine with me. Those are good scores. And then I'll need to like link over to that one and link over to this one, and then I can surround them. But yeah, that's fine. I think I would typically take Mountain Shrine over Market at this point, but that's not how the lock works. 22 with a minus 11 is pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, 113 points from my current buildings and 6 or fewer. Like 20 points a building. Yeah, I can do that. I guess I should consider if I need to leave one of these for marketing. My heart just says no. My heart says just fill them up with... wow, that's so perfect. Fill them up with houses and sort it out later. I can utilize one row of this second plateau here before I make my decision, because I'll need to choose eventually whether or not I'm leaving this for a market, but at least right now I can mostly fill this one and then just down the line here and down the line here. I did say 20 points a building, right? '27's savagely good. Yeah, this is fine. Another city center. You love to see it. So there's a 4-pointer out here. There's also... I can lose a bunch of points in a bunch of different places. I was hoping there'd be something to double score those 7s out here, but looks like no. So there's like a 17 that's probably going to be city relevant. I could hold on to it, obviously. I think I kind of have to hold this, waiting for the bloom, because turning all these 2s into 4s would be a massive get. That being said, it's already worth like almost 200 points. Good building. Okay, 125 from 6 buildings or fewer. That feels very achievable, because even just my fields are 24 each. Now I am limping my way over to that detection. Hey, okay, so this isn't quite as compact as things could be, but I mean, on the other hand, it's 31 points. So I think we take those. Yeah, and I guess I actually just surround this now, and I guess there's nothing to play back there. Maybe 1 right here, but I guess I can build around this mill and then stretch to this one. I'm not losing points by doing it 1 at a time. This is going to be Wisp, which I don't love, but I think I only had maybe 3 locks left. 165. Let's just go back to this old well, this old chestnut of just placing a bunch of houses. So if I place this here, I will need a small L or a Tetris, and then a small L. I need a small L kind of either way. First, if I place it here, it's a lot fewer points. I could also just place it here, but that blocks me out of sending the leg of a building down there. I could place it here and miss out on 1 spot worth of value. I don't think I'm willing to do that yet. Although now seeing that this is my next shape, maybe my opinion changes. Such a bad shape. So, can't do that. Can't do that. I guess I can do that, but that does waste a bunch of space. Dang houses, man. This just effectively creates 3 spots worth of dead space. This creates 1, and then it creates at least 2, because this one would also be dead with an L that's stretched that way. Is there a configuration that doesn't mess me up like this? Probably not with this shape. So let's just place this somewhere else, kind of to dump it, to get this garbage out of here. No way detecting that's going to be worthwhile. Nah, not yet. Love getting the exact same building back to back. I'm going to confirm that this is Wisp. I don't have to take it. Okay. Do I even want Wisp? It is a lot of computational complexity, mentally. I can maybe get it through 14 mansions, which is 70 points. 75 because you do get 5 for placing it originally. Also, maybe I want to remember or think about the fact that circuses exist. I never plan for my circus, and it's always bad, but could be a 100-point building if I was smarter about it. I simply do not think... I mean, Wisp is worth a lot. That's the problem with it, right? I don't know where these mansions are going. I don't have a mansion plan right now. A plantion, you could say. That's bad even for me. Okay, if I do this, I need to get 2 small L's. I can't place that. Can't place any of this. I could do this, but that creates gaps. I could do this and just accept that I'm blocking some terrain. Could also place this weird shape here. And then, yeah, that's probably better. Okay, I'm not going to take Wisp yet. I've already placed so much of my city. I have all these random buildings remaining that it would be really difficult to, like, chain Wisp from one to the other. And I think the other boon was a wall platform, right? Yeah, so I actually do kind of want that. Temple coming soon. Only have 2 more locks. Yeah, with 16 mansions, if I get Wisp through every single one of them, 5 points per mansion. So I think it is 5 points, right? Is it 6? No, it's 5. Okay. So this is 80 points. 80-point boon. I mean, a wall platform might be worth 80. It's not worth much more than 80. I don't have a fountain to move Wisp from in between mansions and houses. I do have parks, but then I have to place a park in my city, which is not always what I want. Still have this city center. I'm not going to place it over here. It's too late for that. But I'd love to just place it out here once I have, maybe even here, once I have some water platform action. Still a bit until I get there, though. Alternately, I could just eat negative 20 points total to place everything out here, and then start doing my mansions around that, and that would be good with Wisp. I mean, it would be so much better if I could do it on water platforms out here. But to do that, I need water platforms. Like, that's a cost. I then can't put them here. But putting them here was always just sort of a plan. Like, I didn't have data that it was good. I just thought it would be. So maybe it's not worth as much as I thought. Maybe being able to build here, like, yes, I'm going house into house, which is nice, but if there's not other point producers over here, it's not worth very much. Okay, let's take Wisp. 14 is so many mansions. I really need a flat area to place them. I'm going to take Wisp and put it into a big section of mansions here wrapped up around a city center and a shaman. And immediately upon suggesting that, it sounds like a bad idea. I truly don't know what I want. Well, when you don't know what you want, just place buildings at random, right? None of my existing industry buildings need this, so I can go ahead and place it. Hopefully my temple won't quite reach it. Then my other high-scoring buildings would be not the aviary. It's hard to get score on the aviary. Okay, so if I take Wisp now and put it into this area, I can then score 3 houses along it. I think I placed like 2 houses after Wisp was available, so that's a minus, but then I could place this back instead of forward, and that would let me move Wisp along into a park up here, and then it'd be so difficult to get Wisp down from this high ground, so I would need to start Wisp on the low ground. And I just think, like, mediocre city center, bad shaman right here in order to create 16 fine mansions. And even, like, only, you know, maybe 8 of these would even touch these both, and then I'd be placing down, like, 15-point mansions with Wisp, or maybe 17 with Wisp. And yes, I have 16 of them, but holding these 16 is good for the fortune teller. Yeah, actually, because of the distribution of buildings and everything, I don't think Wisp is good here. If I had, like, you know, 10 houses banked still, I would definitely take it, but I don't think that's what's happening here. And I don't like... Okay, that's fine. I wish this was 28 points, because this is the one I really want to place, but can't always get what you want. You know what, let's just accept that we're not going to be able to fully efficiently utilize this space. So we do need to place buildings. And then, where's my market? At some point I still have this available. And I can even do that, and then one more line park along there would be pretty good, I think. Out of houses. I know I deleted this previously, but I have come back around on it. I need the points. Alright. This will be a locked choice, but that's fine. Yeah, I mean, if I manage to make this wall platform work. This is pretty good. I got a lot of stuff going on here. Heck yeah. I mean, a 33-point building. These fields are good. I could even... Hold on, wait a minute. This is probably good. I haven't utilized much of this space yet, so let's take the 31. Unless this one's better, but no, it's not. Okay. $32 is just changing which rays project out, which I'm not willing to fight over, so... Yeah, I mean, 38. Let's go. Hopefully I can slide one in there. I think I will be able to. +1 per field does not incentivize park placement. And there might be some 20-point parks out here that would be fun, but just love this one random sawmill. Yeah, these just aren't, like, incredible. They're not bad, but I'm looking for better right now. Speaking of, what am I placing? Maybe I would rather place hut once I know where my last city center is. And maybe I need to just commit to this. Like, still have thoughts about placing it out here on a water platform. And that is like almost 30 points difference, 27. .27 difference is a lot. Maybe I could even get like a better, not this one, but you know, maybe get some kind of shaman out there. This is challenging. Like, as soon as you have things like the fortune teller and the wisp and the bargain and the locks to consider, obviously my pace of play is never quick, but it does slow down quite a bit. I suppose I can do this. It's not like a great building, but over here is only 16 right now. Even like a really good score through here would only be 24, so 20 is fine if that's where we end up. Let's do it. I'm not really a circus planner. So now I need 20 more points from any building. The hut is -6 for not having this city center down, which is a big loss. I don't want to do the Hermitage until I have another few shots at Blossom through here. I don't think I have accessible 20-point mansions anymore. Yeah, not at all. I need to figure these 16 mansions out. That's got to be a priority soon, but after my fortune teller. Right now, they're good to hold. All this dead weight is just boosting my fortune teller. Okay, come on, 20 points. Let's just do a park. I am the king of slow play. You'll never find someone willing to play as slow as I am. Oh, I'm past the lock? Wait a minute, what? Oh. Weird. This is actually a little challenging for me. I think Fish kite leads to monument. Wall might lead to water platform. That's my intuition. So, some good stuff. All right, let's figure out the temple. I mean, that just seems like clearly ideal. I can't go any lower because of the statue. And I mean, ta-da, it's 236 points right now. So 236 is the score to beat. What if I go over and down a little bit? Way better. Okay, love to see that, because the terraces are 25 each as well, so. But I am missing a couple of masons now, so I wonder if I can split the difference somehow. Somehow, as if that doesn't just mean putting it in the middle between those 2 points I was using. Somehow, some advanced tech to take the middle of two things. Very nearly clipped through there, I think. So that's probably about as far over as I can. I mean, 256 is good. If I get a range up, this is really going to pop off, but we'll take the 256 possibility. Not going to place it yet, even though it would be good for fortune tellers, because I think I can accrue more value before I pull that ripcord. This is still choice market terrain. I think my next park was it was a line. Okay, so I could take a 13, but I need 105 points in 6 buildings or less from here, or I could delete that and do it in 5, but I think that's doable. Just over 100 points, yeah. 26 is a fine start. I do feel like I might be able to do better. Not sure how, but I feel like I might be able to. Wonder if I could shrink something. Well, I guess let me get my next boon. This is so silly that this works. I'm not sure this is intended, but it's also a very like gamified optimizer strat that a lot of people aren't gonna do or think to do. So let's get the boon. And then undo. Wisp and a sealed boon. I don't especially want either of these. The sealed boon is good. I like starting with boons, but I think I want more choice. Okay, I don't think I need more verdure. I do like score multiplier. I think score multiplier on like a temple and a fortune teller is going to go hard. Or I mean, maybe the shrine, especially if I get bloom. It's already 170 points. Anybody else just see that Big Dipper appear there? I haven't ever seen it that clear before. That was interesting. I wonder if that's always happening and I'm just, oh yeah, out here in the water, there's constellations. Huh, I had never noticed that before. I thought it was in the sky, but no, it's in the surface of the water. Fascinating. I mean, this is a stellar island type. Okay, so if I manage to bloom these trees, they go from 2 points to 4. I have 2 more boons guaranteed, and then I think there will be boons on the next loop as well. I mean, I just have to wait, right? It doesn't really feel reasonable to take it now. Part of me thinks I just slam my temple now. Like, yes, a range up would be big. That would be worth like 100 points, maybe 200, 150. But then I could not do a score multiplier, which is also going to be worth 60% of this, right? And the temple would unlock a lot of buildings, which is really good for my fortune tellers. Alternately, maybe it's time that I stop futzing around with the city center. So if I just place it out here, I can start doing some of these. I mean, is that even in detection? Like right there is where I'm targeting? Maybe not. Or if it is, it's just barely in. I'm just going to place this just to check. I am going to delete this. Okay, so there's like 138. And the rest of this is 2 built up. So I guess alternately, if it's out here, am I going to be able to hut that? And signs do point to yes. I'll be able to get some 31s, 32s up here. Yeah, I need a water platform right there. I think that's the medium to long-term play. Okay, so there are not good fountains I'm willing to take. I'm not willing to lose the market space. Or am I? 100-point market. 70-point market just here on the ground. So is it really worth 30 points to not build mansions and houses up here? Once again, I am foiled by my own planning. I only have 1 market so far too, and I might get like a platform where I can put it here, and that's better anyway. Yeah, I don't think the market up here is good. Wow, that from all the consideration that I did, it ended up being such a simple solve to improve the situation. But all right, so let's take the 25 and got to place the mansions first because mansions aren't very good. No hate, just saying it like it is. 43, 45 that I might be able to get to jump into alignment. And then, is there a mansion to house preference? +2, +2, so no. And I don't think, I mean, even, I guess I could take a 19. I'm losing a lot of fountain value to do that. So let's not. Let's go into the houses. So there's a 16. Alternately use the little areas out here to get like a 15 or something. Okay, I'm not necessarily happy to get this shape again, but I think I will be able to use it there and then 49. I mean, that's pretty good, and the remaining space has a bunch of different ways houses could fit into it. There will be some little gaps, but those might be good for towers and whatnot. I've already created one little gap right there. Right there, I think. Yeah, let's just do it just to do it. I've been thinking for a long time and not placing. My pace of play problems persist. I would like 2 monuments, if that is somehow possible, across the course of the island. Can't quite get the boon yet, but 40 points. I mean, these are better than houses? Holy crap, what is... Wait a minute. So they're better sticker value. I'm not saying they're better overall, because they're not boosting as many buildings. Like, the house is going to score extra points on every fountain and on every temple and on, well, not every, but you know what I'm saying. Like, things like the circus, the fountain, the park, the fortune teller. Oh, wait a minute. Are wheat fields the best building in the game now? Hold on. I gotta think about this. I gotta lay down. That doesn't seem like it should be true, but I have a sinking feeling that it might be. Maybe wheat fields are good now. I need to think about this more. I'm waiting for water platform. Okay, I can't place the fountain. I can't place the monument. I could place a wall. It's bad for houses, but good for a lot of stuff. And I could get like a 22 or 23. I could place it up here where it's also going to help my temple. but these scores are not as enticing. I could also do some mediocre mansions along that slope. I think I am holding this for a blossom as well. Okay, holding, 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 holding. Am I gonna place my aviary? Get 59 points and then boost its score from, what is it, 55? From 55 to 59? Ooh, that's not a big deal. But even like the ideal spot up here is only 69. Maybe not the aviary yet. I guess I do lighthouse. I don't want to place these 5 seaweed fields because their score is probably better just left on the fortune teller for right now. Alternately, I could warehouse. Could take like a 19 over here. Isn't very inspiring, but I don't know. I don't have any other industry buildings to place, so I don't know if it's getting much better. Also a 17. And all this I'm thinking about this market. Maybe I go ahead and place the market, and actually maybe this market might be a really good shrunk. What was my last building? Oh, the field, okay. Let's try the shrink. I've just been holding them all this time. I haven't really had anything to do with them, but can this little guy fit in somewhere fun? Okay, well, if I shrink the market, that changes the center of its detection, so I can get 78. 85. That's a lot better. Was I not? Wait a minute, was I not getting that before? Oh, I'm not. Okay, so I'm definitely shrinking the market, and my heart tells me just place this. I don't think I can take the 32. I think I have to take 23. So I think this will not now allow the market. I'll try it, but I think the market won't fit anymore. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Not a big deal. So there's a 22, a 23. And then I know that I was talking about a wall platform up here for the market, but I will probably get 2 markets in the course of the run. That seems highly likely. And I also have destroy, which I might use at some point. I don't exactly know where I was going with that, but 105, 107. I saw 109 though. I mean, I do have 14 mansions that might end up behind this building, and then that would be a 28-point penalty, but 28 points is not an enormous amount. It's not a small amount of points, but it's not like, you know, it's not 100. So maybe maybe this is just fine. And maybe it's good to place buildings, especially since I got more island in just 2 buildings. We love wall platform, we love another mill. I can't quite get the boon yet, but I'm getting pretty close. I hadn't really done this as intentionally as I am now on previous islands, but I think every island now I'm just gonna unlock my boons early. Having that little bit more intel makes a big difference. So I could place this here with a, or even place it here with that sustainable boon. It makes it a really big point value. It does hurt my ability to utilize them over here, but my green area over here is not quite panning out as high scoring as I had hoped. It's not like bad, but until I get a bloom, it's only so valuable. And this does only use 1/3 of a boon, so yeah, let's take a sustainable and get 70-ish points. I mean, exactly 70 points. That was plus an 80-point sustainable to be able to place this just in the middle here. And now there's going to be some fields that tag all 3 of these. Which actually, I know. I'm not going to take long to do this, but that's actually such a fundamentally good thing to do that I probably want to be a little even more aware about enabling it. Enable triple placements, I mean. So I see some 70s. Could take like a 68 that has a bunch of triple placements remaining. It's not really worth it out here, is it? No. I want to use this big flat area in the middle. So maybe I had it right the first time. Maybe I'll do 69 to be closer up to them. That might be the exact same place I was just building in, but I'm going to act like it's new and like I did much better. Really glad I found that clever trick there. Wink, wink. Okay, that obviously is not going to function. Could do silly stuff like this, but I don't think height will be enough to get this situation going on. So there is wall platform potential over here. Oh, that's probably the play. That's pretty good. It doesn't make a ton of buildable space, but the buildable space is really well positioned, I think. And it does make, like, you know, this entirety. I need a building to confirm that's flat. Okay. Works for me. Fish kite is better than water platform. I would like to be able to do water platform already, but second fish kite, if I manage to unlock it, is valuable. This is actually a challenging choice for me. I think I don't have a strong intuition, which is better. So we're gonna take the water platform because I can, and then I think we're just gonna start running with this new tech. So I want to be able to put this in the middle, which means there and then there. Yep, and then I guess this needs to be placed first, actually. So I can use the plateau to block the beams. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I can get maybe a +3 that has... that's a little too much space. And then I can't check and see if... okay, let's... it'd be cool if there was a +3 like right here, but even if there's not, that's okay. It's only 2 points. Yeah, so that feels good, and then we can place a 39 instead, which seems like a bunch worse, but that's going to be quite good for my score overall. Yeah, I can probably score this 3 times, so that's like a 18-point boost there. And obviously, if I do get a blossom over here, I'm going to wish I had another like 60, but I do need to be able to place these 15 mansions profitably, which I have not historically been able to. The best buildings in my hotbar are 47-point wheat fields. Okay, I am My whole tune has changed on wheat just in like 2 islands. Just in a few islands of giving it a chance and experimenting with it, I have identified it is good. Let's get a boon. Should have done this before all this probably, but no big deal, right? I just don't want to figure out Wisp, honestly. I think I talked myself into saying it was non-strategic earlier, but mostly I just don't have the brain space right now. And I think it's kind of an undervalued point to think about. Not even like time. Like if we say my time's valueless and it's okay for me to just play these islands forever, it's not quite true, but we can say that. Even still, being able to think about the entirety of the island experience does improve my score. And if the island becomes so complex that I can no longer really think about it, that's going to hurt my score. Like, I think tangibly, I think it's going to be a meaningful change to how many points I score if the island has become so complex that I just cannot conceive of it, that I can't follow the numbers anymore. Okay, so this market has a bunch of, I'm not going to place it here, obviously, but I just wanted to see. So wall or, I mean, honestly, water platform right here goes hard. So this wall is not green, it is brown. I can't probably fit it in here. I'll try briefly, but it does seem like the kind of thing they would be disincentivized to allow. Yeah. Could just plop it back here. It's near to a few city centers. It's probably a good market. It's 30 points. It makes a lot of buildable space. It's in kind of a central area. Talked myself into it. It's not quite as good as I wanted. I wanted to be able to get both warehouses. So let me see if I can just fidget it a little bit more out, but I think that tall mason is tall mason is blocking it. Okay, that's fine. Now I have some sick houses like these. Okay, 30-point houses are good. This is starting to turn. I think we're heading in a good direction here. We were having a little trouble in the midsection there. I had some complicated, I guess we'll call them like navigational decisions. I was trying to decide the overarching direction that I wanted to take the island, but I think we have reached a point of flourishing. And 40-point huts are a sign that nature is healing. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 city centers, all in close proximity. None of them placed with neighborly. Still have not quite completed the island, so I'm still getting 6 buildings. Wow, look at how far over the fortune teller has moved. It's up to 213, though. I do have 2 temples. I'm only just now noticing that. I don't know when I got the second one, but I missed it. So maybe this is a temple. Maybe if I get another wall over here, that would be a good temple. But still, the best buildings on my island. 49-point field. Just a wheat field for 49 points. And that's like true score. Like, I didn't have to take any negatives to make that happen. Like, yes, I know these negatived on each other, but that was like still a good building score. I gave up nothing to make this possible. So I need to be taking these fields more aggressively. They are powerful. At least I'm capable of learning. Yes, I was making a mistake, but I have identified it. Won't happen again. Yeah, that's just 20 points. I don't think I'll be beating 23 anywhere. I mean, even here is a 21 and unplaceable, obviously. 17, plus you have to remember that the temple is an additional plus 60%, so this is a 23 plus 60%. And yeah, there's no higher values around here. Cool. I might try and find a placement that doesn't overlap that at all, or if it does, much more minimally. Something like that. Just to allow me a lot of flexibility in where I end up utilizing this space. And even this is a 60. I mean, you know, it's something. I feel like we can get our last boon, so we can see what that's going to be. I'm not letting this lie. I'm just going to let my points trickle in while I text for a second. Okay, we got our boon. I sent my text. The island is still unlocked. Gotta be careful not to click that. Do I want to spend a reroll or just take more rerolls? Can I? Wait a minute. Okay, so there's 2 more boons. It might always be, once you finish an island, there's 2 more. I think so far that's what it's been. I actually would like 6 rerolls. That seems powerful. 2 shrinks, 2 sustainable, 2 demolish. Oh, I just demolished the temple. Duh, that's obvious, and it'll get me an achievement, and I can maybe score multiplier it again. Yeah, I won't be able to make a second temple spot that's this good. Cool. Okay. Still not quite ready to actually take it, but... And the fortune tellers are worth less than the temple still by a pretty good margin, but valuable. So I wonder if... I mean, the fact that you have to have a building placed to bargain it does make them worse, but I wonder if I should have bargained the temple. Like, just placed a lower value one earlier in the island, smashed it apart, and then placed a second, smashed the second, placed the third. You only need 2 smashes to place 3 of the same building. I've come around on demolish. It has powerful use cases. Score multiplier, level up. Okay, I need 35 points. Let's focus on actions. Let's, he says, as if you are responsible for our slow play. Our slow play, he says. Wow. 30? That kills a couple trees. I'm almost out of chances to get bloom, so I don't need to be... or blossom, I think it's called. So I don't need to focus a ton on maximizing that value anymore. So my verger ultimately was kind of low value, and I could have used them for more raw score, and I think that would have been ultimately better. I did not know at the time, and I will stick by my decision making, but because of the buildings that I happen to get, it is what it is. Why am I looking at this low point value stuff? I just need to place a building to unlock more. I know that I just said, but I am concerned because I have so many mansions and so few good places to put them that I actually am going to prioritize... I guess these aren't. Okay. I can't quite get that tagged because of how the warehouse is positioned, so I guess this will be a house. And it's 33 points. Like, that's a worthy building. Huh. Yet another city center. Okay. Well, if I get neighborly, I might be able to do something cool with it. Quite a bit away from my next boon, though. Okay, can I get a lap of score in 5 buildings or less? You get 125 points. Like 25-point buildings. I know it's not quite, but close enough. 25-point buildings. Yeah, I guess I can. None of this is good, but I know I said 25 and this is now a 21, but I have limitations. This shape really annoys me every time I get it. I need to just start planning for it with the awareness that it's just going to happen. Like, you have to be prepared for the Tetris. This is a 40. I could hold it for the neighborly and maybe get a 46, but I say, and then I'm immediately forced to pause and consider that possibility. It just seems like such a low chance. But I can do better than 15 with it. Like, there have to be some... Yeah, 39 over here. Like, that's going to be hard to make up that difference. So I think I'm probably done with city centers in this area without neighborly. So yes, I can place my hut. That's what all that calculus was for. Am I allowed to place one hut? It wasn't actually calculus. All that calculation. Now, I do have 2 markets. When it rains, it pours. So I could take one up here that my temple is going to hate. I could take this one. It's a pretty good score. I think even with a range up, my temple is probably not going to detect it. Yeah, I mean, that's... Maybe it would, but it'd be close. And at that point, I'm getting so many points, I probably don't care. So... I'm really penalized if I get another warehouse. But everything else... I mean, even if it's 32 points total by having all of these placed within detection, which they won't necessarily all be in detection. I think for the fortune teller value, this is well worth placing now. No, I disagree with myself even as I say it, because I know I'm placing some more houses, so I should start with those. I'm nothing but dedicated to the high score. We'll take a 15-pointer that might also help my temple. I don't know if it's quite in range, but again, if I get a range up, it will be. And I did get the warehouse. Wow. Immediately not punished. Immediately paid off. So the valuable warehouse location, I could give up this market spot and just place it up here. But I could also shrink it and try and place it like here or on the back side here. Here would hurt my temple. Is that even placeable? Let's find out. Maybe. Not easily. versus back here for 15 versus just placing it over here for 33 and not caring about getting the plus 20. It sounds silly, but 33 is a high enough score, and it's just a plus 20. Huh. Maybe we take this, and it might end up benefiting if I get another market without getting any wall platforms. It might end up here or something. So, and if we're doing that, I don't need to place it yet because I am placing... Do I have no houses? All my houses are placed out. Okay. I'm doing this stuff next because I'm doing the market next, so... Can't quite fit 2, but can I do that and then... It's truly horrible, I think, that I can't tag both of these. And it surprises me. Like, they don't seem like they're that far apart, and it really feels like I should be able to get both the city center and this platform. Clearly not, but it feels like it. I know these are low point value now, but they're going to benefit the temple and 2 markets. So, and I've just now got to where I was previously just from placing a fortune teller. Okay, let's now pull the cord on this. I don't know how many more houses or mansions or whatever it would detect ever. So I don't think I'm willing to do a 13 just because it's actually a 15 because it would be detected. That's not the kind of number that I am excited about. 122 I am excited about. I feel good about that. We'll let all these points trickle in. Turns out I am not able to play an island in 2.5 hours. There's no way I'm finishing this in time. Ooh, whoa. That was so many points. Wow, that's like, okay. Sorry, not to be cringe about it, but like if I shrink this up here or even over here, even if we say this is 83, right? Or down here I can probably get similar. So if we say this is 83 and then each of these is 40, like that is so many points from one round of building unlocks. Speaking of, I might just place all 4 of these and then get 5 more buildings. It's net of +1. We'll go 40 and might have to start taking some 39s, but that is okay. Just because I have so much industry. And then there's more buildings. So place 4, get 5, and the 1 bonus that I got was also a mountain shrine. I don't think I need to undo those to check the boon. I think this is fine. Increase area. You love to see it. So this will not let me use the score up boon, but I can get 540 points. Or alternately 540 or 400 and wait, 505. I mean, I'm going to do both is the kind of funny thing, but because I have the destroy as well. And I guess I demolish the lower value one because I'm losing 40% of the score. Like, yes, I'm keeping 60, but that's the same as losing 40. Wait. No, I can't undo because I guess because I unlocked a boon? Yeah, because I locked in a boon, so I can't undo it. That makes sense. Okay. Still getting 5 draws, so if I can get 165 and 5 points, there's only one more boon coming. If that boon is Blossom, then this area's value goes up quite a bit. So I might be re-rolling to try and snag a Blossom. 219, can I get around in 15 placements or fewer? Or in 5 placements or fewer, pardon. Or is it time to just start slamming big guys? I mean, I guess pretty sure I can place this and then take it back. So why don't I place this to get my final boon and then just take it back and then I know what my final boon is? It's a little cheesy, but I mean, it's allowed in the game. It is how the game works, so just gonna have to sit here for a long time as these points roll in. But I think this will be enough to unlock my boon. Yeah, honestly, not even close. And free boon. Silly. Very silly. Okay. Blossom. Wow, don't even need to re-roll for it. So, alternately, duplicate. Can I get a temple into my rightmost spot? So I need to consume all these buildings. And I would probably do it without drawing extra buildings in order to not refill this space. So the market would suck, the circus would suck, the fish kite would suck. Blossom is 2 shrines, get +2 on every tree. So that's going to be like, okay, we'll say it's maybe 60 points to bloom all these. And then each mountain shrine probably gets +40, we'll say. So that's 140. And then my hermitages both get probably +30 or 40. And I can use sustainable on these. So all these negatives you're seeing are not as big of a deal. 30 or 40 on these. Yeah, I think because doing all of this to get to the temple, to do temple, destroy, temple, like, yeah, that's a ton of points. It's like, you know, an extra 40% loss of, say, 500. So you lose 200 points. So you get an extra, I guess it is just an extra 300. I don't think placing all of these is worth 300 points. I think I can get more value by holding them. It's pretty close, though. It's actually pretty close. So because I have demolish, score multiplier, and increase area, I think it's pretty close. But we'll take Blossom. Duplicate good, though. Duplicate's powerful. I said this was about 60, so I overestimated. These trees are bigger than I'm used to, but I can get 50. Yeah, and 50 is good enough. Good enough. Now that they've blossomed, the mountain shrine. Oh, I do have a shaman as well. Oh yeah. Okay, with the shaman boost, I'm even more confident that this was a good play. If this is worth less, it's like 100 points max, and I think it's probably not worth less at all. I think it's probably the better play. But they're close enough together that neither way is going to break me. 73, obviously very good. Current draw is still 4. Little score readout does not correctly reflect since I've undone so many big buildings. And Hermitage doesn't care about Mountain Shrine at all. And Mountain Shrine doesn't care about Hermitage at all. Hates other Mountain Shrines, but... Okay, so that's a 221. Fortune Teller is going to be worth more than that, so I should not score multiplier this guy. But what am I waiting on? What am I waiting to place this? Looks like nothing. Looks like none of this stuff is worth holding out for, in my opinion. So let's just find the highest point value Mountain Shrine, 221. And I'm only losing 4 points, so very much not worth a sustainable. So let's hit it. And now I can shrink a 200.1 up here. Some good buildings there. I hope this shrink works. I never actually checked it, but my heart says it should, and it doesn't. Okay, that's fine. There are other good mountain shrines. So up here is 123, no cost. Down here is 128, and I kill some trees and take up some space, so that's bad. But I wonder if I can shrink it right there. Mountain Shrine, no. Not up here either. It looks relatively close, but now that I inspected it, obviously doesn't fit. That's fine, whatever. More buildings, another shaman, which is going to be even more points on the Mountain Shrine. So I saw a 52, I saw a 54. Now this island's really rolling along. Like, this is the kind of scores we like to see. I had waited so patiently for this blossom. I've been holding some of this stuff for like the entire island, and it has paid off. I'm not seeing anything that tops 54, so when we see the 54 again, we'll take it. And that's 4 extra points on the Mountain Shrine. Oh, a second seaweed farm. It's about time. Mountain Shrine just barely detects it, but that's still 127. Again, just double checking. I could get like 5 points more by killing some trees and taking up my Hermitage space. So, well, I don't know, 130. So 130 that kills, I think, just 1 tree versus 120. Oh, I saw 129. It's not worth a point to kill a tree. Not at this point. Just need to find that magical number again. Maybe the 127 is just this impossible slightly clipped forward, but... Oh, no, 129. Once again, I need all of my score multipliers and range ups and everything for other buildings. Actually, let me check the range up. Hold on. It goes from 129 to 195-ish. So it's a 70-point range increase. That's not worth it, because I can get 60% on a fortune teller. It's going to be over 100 easily. Yeah, okay. This is not worth a boon. Worth checking. Yeah, because both my score multipliers, one of my demolish. I guess I could demolish this, but the difference in points is actually not big enough to really justify that in my mind. Because it does cost points to demolish a building. And maybe I'll get a 3rd temple. You never know. This will be 4 more buildings. My fortune teller just keeps getting better. And I'm actually about to place the temple as well. masons would be good on my temple, but basically everything else that might increase its value has already filled this area. I can't even do more wall platform shenanigans. This is probably going to be a market still. So yeah, I think it's time. And we want to demolish the less valuable one. So I have 2 temples total, yeah, confirmed. I guess I could do some hermitages first to get more buildings. Yeah, okay, so do hermitages deserve sustainables? What else is going to care about sustainable? These 23 parks are my private nightmare. I've been banking them for so long. Does any of this really care about sustainable? I don't think so. Because the temple is not losing points to sustainable buildings. It's losing points to warehouse and market, which I don't think sustainable cares about warehouse. Oh, it does. Okay, so that's 40 points, but I actually need to use other boons on the temple, so the temple doesn't count. I guess this would be 12 points, which just simply does not matter. So the Hermitage is where my sustainables go. Cool. Cool. Now we just find the highest point value placement that doesn't kill a ton of stuff. Like there's a 142. And then there'll be a second one somewhere kind of in the middle here as well. 143, yeah. So we start with the one that kills fewer plants. And then we're gonna sustainable a second hermitage. Just looking for the highest score at this point. I'm okay with killing trees. I know it'll hurt the parks a little bit, but there's only so much I can care about. 140. Yeah, 140 is good. I'm not upset about a 140. Need to find it again, but ta-da! So that's 2 buildings to unlock more. I'm still getting 4 per draw, so it's well worth it. Oh, a third seaweed farm. Still can't place those. They're not high value enough, but now I'm getting 4 buildings, so I should unlock more. Let's find 39, and then I need more fields. That's what I'm lacking, wheat fields. I missed them. But there's no masons in here, right? Nah. Eventually there will be masons. Then I don't know which one of these is likelier to give me a third mansion that touches both. I feel like it's like this mansion but reversed is going to be right here, and that's going to be good enough to tag the plateau. Is that the building I want to place? It's lower value, but it does get me more buildings, and fortune teller's up to almost 250. Okay, so I'm only getting 3 per draw now. So can I get 190 points in 3 buildings? Well, if I place the temple, I certainly can. So maybe it's temple time. Then over here will be a market, possibly. It's a 90-point market versus an 87. Obviously, it's over here. So I'm getting a 90-point market. Do I want to go wall platform into market into something else? And that'll get me buildings. That is 3. Like, I'm not gaining any fortune teller value, but I'm not losing any. I guess the third building could be the warehouse, but I might want to wait on the warehouse now that I have all these new infrastructure buildings to place. I'm doing all this to try and get one more mason, which would be 46 more points. That's a lot. That's a lot of points. My odds of getting a mason aren't high, but maybe I take one shot at it. Maybe I just, because I have this good market that I feel really fine about placing, maybe I take it. So 93 is good, and I can't go much further this way without tagging into stuff, so I think 93 is it, and I could take something over here. In that case, I want to place this first, maybe? Maybe not. It's not a lot of points. So it's 10, and then the warehouse would be plus 6, but this would get 4 from the warehouse anyway, so okay. It's gonna be market, and I don't have a lot of leeway in how far over I can go with the warehouse. Maybe I can get it all. That doesn't seem likely though. No, I can. Excellent. Okay. So this is 3 buildings. So I'm actually losing 3 points, but on the the fortune teller, I'm losing 3 points, but that's fine. And then I need some more points, which we'll just grab here. Low impact. That might be a good wall. I don't want to block that if I can avoid it. There's probably some weird spot along here where I can still build. Or maybe not. Maybe I do just have to block it. That's not gonna, I'm not gonna cry over it. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Wall might still be able to snake between those. They are very powerful walls. And here's 3 buildings that I spent 4 to get. Good plateau. Can I get that far enough in that my temple tags it? Maybe the increase area one? Temple? Yeah, that is. So I can get 573. And that does tag, so that's 25 additional score. Plus, I mean, this itself is 68 points, which is a good building. We do not mind 68-point building. I could also build it over here to create some good mansion space or a good circus spot. It's only 22 points, though. I mean, this feels like more score. And I'm just going to double check. Okay, yeah, this is less than 500. Cool. So I want to destroy my lower value temple, which means that the first temple I place is a score multiplier temple. And I think it's time. I think it's time. 486, bunch of different 486s. 502. And my space utilization here does not much matter because I'm going to destroy it. But I could do a wall that is plus 10 points, which is plus 16. So this is a 32-point wall. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that is good. It does cost me 3 on my fortune teller, but maybe not, because maybe I'll unlock more buildings by placing this. And then the logic shifts, but maybe I place a couple walls, actually. Okay. Let's start here. 16, and I still have a bunch of valid temple placements. I just double, triple check. Blocking my temple at this point would be disastrous. And then I saw you placement. You exist. Okay, weird 30. Would love some inline option up here, but that doesn't seem to be happening. Dang it, I saw you again. Come back. Yup. 48 point and at least the range up one. We'll tag that. Then does a wall go the other way? Do I like wrap around here somehow? It's not worth the minus 35, but if I can get these to link up end to end, it will be worth it. It doesn't seem to be a believer. Doesn't seem convinced that I'll be able to do this. Weird that doesn't even like. Probably good, like for the health of this strategy, but okay. Let's do score multiplier temple. Now I had 500 before, so 518. I think I had 508. 518 means I'm touching one of those walls, which is what I was expecting. Yup, I think it's time. So we're going from 237 when we started this shenanigans. These islands take a lot of time and thinking. This is almost 3 hours on this island. I know there have been a few moments where I've stalled, but there's also been a lot of moments where I am actively playing and placing multiple buildings quickly. There's just a lot going on. Spiral's almost done, of course. So I am almost into the stage where the buildings just disappear. Almost into the spend them if you got them stage. But 3 unlocks, even at 2 buildings each. That's still 18 points, right? All right, so we're at 237. There's the Mason. That's pretty funny. Does it score off temples? It does not. So now we demolish. It's kind of brutal. That's a big minus. All right. That removes at least 40 points. Yeah. I think I can remove at least 40 if I have to. These are going to be negative, so suppose I'll just take the 0. Now I'm at negative 137. You hate to see it. Fortune teller is now at 252. And now we do an increase area temple, which is the real breadwinner. 580. Looks like in order to get the 80, I have to be fully up in this corner. So, oh, 88. Love it. Okay. Just taking one last look at my buildings to make sure there's nothing here that I would rather place first. I guess I am reaching all the way out here, so I almost just placed a expand area mansion. That would have been a disaster. This is a 22-point mansion, plus half again of that between rounds, so a 33-point mansion. even though it costs me 3 points on the fortune teller. That feels good. I could probably keep playing this for a while where I like keep hooking walls around and get them inside the temple, but I think mentally, computationally, I'm maybe not in the mood to do that. I know this flies against my typical insistence, but let's just click it. Let's just do it. So I think after these points trickle in, I am going to have to take a break here. Like I said, I had a hard stop today, so did not quite manage to finish this island, but the good news is I'm at the point now where I'm only getting 2 buildings per draw, and this will put it down to 1. So I have a fair amount of runway still. I'll be able to get many more points, and I have some boons that will help me as well. This level up in particular is going to be like a 300 point boon or something. A demolish, 2 shrink, 1 score multiplier. The score multiplier is definitely going to go on one of these 250-ish point fortune tellers, and they do score from the building, so maybe 270. But yeah, I'll be taking a break and then coming back to this. My big takeaway here, I mean, a lot of this is just the standard stuff I've been doing, but I'm getting more and more positive on fields. Fields are powerful. 1 building for each of those, and my fortune teller's up to 250. So I think that's roughly the number that I was guessing to begin with. And all of this because I did my double bargain. So basically, having 10 of my choices locked earned me 500 points. That feels worthwhile to me. All right, gonna take a break. Be back later. Okay, I am back after an extended time away. I have refamiliarized myself with the island, so I feel like I kind of remember what was going on. And the first thing is that we are at the point of placing the fortune teller. 1 building per draw means that basically nothing is going to give me enough points to be worth it. So it's time to fortune teller, and the first one is getting a score multiplier. So I see a 417, a 424. You don't really want to give up this market space for a potential future market. 424 is good, though. I won't be upset if that's what I take. Bunch of 424s. Won't be upset about a 424, he says. Like, that's just truly a wild score anyway. Yeah. A 424 point building seems reasonable to me. I guess there's some logic to, like, should I place my tavern first? But my taverns necessitate my brewery, which necessitates the hop field, so that's, losing too many points effectively. I can do seaweed soon too, because I now have 3 extra farms, so I can fill this little inlet with seaweed. But right now I just got to let the points trickle in. 1 demolish remaining, 2 shrinks, and my level up, which is going to be worth more than 230 points, I suppose. 262, 267, 274 on the outskirts. I mean, that's good enough for me, and I don't think this is even highly valuable space to give up. Maybe there'll be like 1 fewer mansion that can get this double plateau tag, but I guess with 11 mansions remaining, I should be a little thoughtful of that. I don't know if it's worth 10 points. It's probably not far off. 268 up here. Yeah, we'll take a 74 though. As soon as I can find wherever that was. Oh, I can sometimes get it to glitch over the little line here. Interesting. 274 more points. Totally normal score for a totally normal building. Now that I'm free from the fortune teller restriction, and it is possible that I get another fortune teller, it doesn't seem super likely. But now that I'm free of that, I can start placing buildings with reckless abandon. So I remember there's a city center up here that I'm fond of. Doesn't really seem like I'll be able to do better in any reasonable way. Then I do want to get the aviary down in a way that boosts its score. So I think somewhere in here looks like my most valuable. I get to tag several of these 2-point buildings without getting... The city centers being -10 is kind of rough, so somewhere like here that's sort of at a joint between them will perhaps be best. That does, of course, require a water plateau. I don't think that's going to stop me, though. I'm tempted to just slap this here and then play on it. Points on the aviary are even worth slightly more than they appear because they'll boost future aviary, of course. So I guess unless this is my worthwhile plateau, so I can do a 36 or a 40 plateau right there. I mean, I can probably find a higher scoring plateau. Yeah, okay, so this is my plateau. There's just so many points on the top that you can't really pass on a 91. I mean, and speaking of, maybe I can just place that next. Yeah, seems fine to me. Oh, I did look, by the way. You cannot demolish load-bearing buildings. So if you have a building that has stuff on it, like this plateau, this wall platform, even this one, you are not able to demolish them. It has to be sort of on the top of the structure. Okay, so with this placed, let's go ahead and score the aviary. I might be able to find a more point-effective way to use this somewhere else, like maybe there's like a circus situation or something, but I want a nice aviary. I want to play with this feature. It's interesting, it's unique. So if I want to boost the aviary further, my best bet would be mansions. I guess I could just surround it in parks. I could place it over here in Parkville once all the parks are down. But honestly, Parkville is already going to struggle to fit what I have there. That was my Discord, not yours, by the way. Yeah, okay. I'll look for... I mean, these mansions are just going to be bad, right? Maybe like a couple mediocre but salvageable mansions around here. But even that's too far away for the aviary, so I think it's time to place it. And I can get a 69. It's a pretty nice score. Oh, that's an achievement. There's also... Wait a minute. I know I just placed it and then took it away, but let's be a little smarter about it. So I will get a couple good mansions in there just to boost the aviary ever so slightly. And take the furthest over 71 that I'm legally allowed. Okay. Another mansion. Great. Now... Maybe now I'm ready to do my seaweed farms. I don't want to linger on these forever, so... I'm going to angle this outward so I can tag it for longer. And then I would also like one on this surface. And even just this plateau will boost them too. And then I might end up with another out here at the end that tags all the fields if I can. Because that could just be a big point score itself. Do I want to accept some 20s? I think I will need to take some just double scores by the end, so doesn't really matter when I start, but maybe not. Maybe I'll be able to just score the really nice ones that touch everything the whole time. Nah, that inward one is already out of my reach. Shame. But I placed that so long ago. I don't even remember that stage of the island. It's like a distant memory, distant dream. These are all so mediocre. I wonder if the actual play is to do one like here and then continue wrapping around the edge. That feels better to me. And nothing that I've placed so far is hurt by that, so let's take the awkward shape over here, immediately get a second. I'm hoping to get one more that tags this farm as well. I wonder if even shrinking one of these so it fits here would be a reasonable play. My gut says no, that's not reasonable, don't do it, but... Does this make contact? No, not quite. Alright, well. Looks like it's time to start turning this corner then. And 22. Now that we have all that down, I can safely lighthouse. And I saw a 56, 58 in an unplaceable spot. Okay. So I guess a little bit further out would even be ideal, but that's not going to happen. I'm not going to waste a water plateau on 4 points or whatever. So water platform. So 55 was something that I saw then. Okay, another easy thing to simplify here would be if I can find a good fountain. A lot of these areas seem way too built up to allow a fountain in. So maybe I use this for my parks. That is always a pretty good fountain usage. My parks are going to be a little messy, but maybe not disastrously so. And I could place this over here, more or less. Well, let's try that, and then I do want to figure out my next lumberjack. I got a lot of stuff. The lumberjack and the sawmill. I think I'm going to not place the sawmill until after the parks because it doesn't care about the trees themselves. So the trees can all get smushed by parks, but this does need to go down before all of the trees are killed. Sorry, Mr. Lorax. So 22 that gets some everything, or I could just get like a 20 that's far enough out here it won't penalize stuff. I think the 22 is fine. I don't think that's going to hurt more than maybe one park. And now I could start getting all these delicious parks. Yeah, and some of these are really good. I mean, 34. And I know this one has a bunch of negatives, but that's just going to be the way it is. I'm trying to score these trees with so many different buildings. This does... I don't know. So I placed these hermitages pretty early in order to unlock more buildings for the fortune tellers, and because of the idea that on a hermitage, a flowering tree is only worth 1 fewer point than a park. So I was thinking to myself, well, I'm just going to be killing the trees with the parks in order to make placeable space. But you can see this entire area here is worthwhile parks that do not touch the hermitages, that do not kill trees. So maybe I should have been placing these and just taken a slightly lower fortune teller score in order to get all of these juicy park points on the hermitages. That's something that I will keep in mind for the future. This kills a tree, but it looks really cool. Probably not optimal to place it yet. But there's just so many parks here and so many potential spots to place them that to a degree, I'm gonna expedite this placement. So I liked all the ones through here. Oh. As before, Wheatfield's just wildly high score. That was a 51-point building compared to this excellent park that is still only going to be 23 or something. So yeah, Wheatfield's good. I have completely changed my tune on them. We will see if I can effectively boost them in my future planning as well. Future island planning, that is. So we like a 23 that doesn't kill very much. I think that spot might be big enough for a square park, but if it is like a square park fitting this direction, yeah. Trying to leave all of my square park spaces and just take up these weird little cliff row edges with the lines. Utilizing the space efficiency of the line park is a goal of mine. Some good ones up here. Yeah, okay, so a square will fit here. It does kill a tree or two, or maybe just one. Yeah, I can kill one tree with that placement. Okay. I need to place 11 more of these. How particular do I need to be with my exact spacings? Because I don't want to run out of space, but I also don't want to take suboptimal placements trying to leave myself more room than I need. And then at the end, I'll try and find 2 spots to put the sawmills. I'm not that concerned if they don't fit. I mean, it would, be preferable for there to be good spots for them, but I'm going to prioritize the parks and prioritize pace of play. Frankly, this island has already gone on quite a while, and I need to play a bunch more of these. I guess I can ask all of you lovely watchers, if you've made it this far in the video, what is your ideal length of an Islanders New Shores video? Like, do you want me to just take as long as possible, considering every tiny score variation, checking every building in multiple spots, being really detail-oriented, particular, maximizing everything? Or would you rather me intentionally play quickly to keep the videos to, an hour or two instead of whatever absurd length this one will sprawl to? I'm unsure. I can see benefits to both. I am receptive to feedback. 12 does not inspire. Not when there's 16 right there. And might have to kill a couple of these to get a good... Oh! And I'm out of parks, just like that. Well, there's going to be some good monument energy in here. I guess I could just go ahead and place this. It is minus 8 points from whatever my next park is, but it does simplify things. And also I'm only getting one building per 255 points. So yeah, let's just place what we got. Not plan too much for the future. If I happen to get lucky and get exactly the building that I need, maybe I'll be penalized, but I have a 14 over there. Okay, well obviously 48 instead. Do I want to leave this larger building spot right here? Do I have a placeable positive point circus? I do. 16. It's only somewhat shameful. There's also lots of pretty good mansions around here. Oh, this is good. I was talking about this forever ago, obviously. Like, I mean, for you, it was just a moment, but that does reach far enough forward to tag into that plateau. You love to see it. Bunch of assorted 13s. And maybe I just play houses up here. Maybe that's the move. I could also play a few lower point ones over here that'll be +4 on the circus as well, but that's not like a high priority for me, I suppose. All right, well, let's take this 48 that I spotted. I suppose over here seems a little more out of the way. And slap down some more mansions. I'm going to try and wait for a L that goes this way to see if I can get everything in one. I want to have it all. 10 versus 15, 14, and 24. There you go. Ask and you might receive. Could get a 265 point level up. I think I can do a little better. I'm also, hilariously, I might demolish the circus. That seems really dumb. Like, I can just get a 16 here versus demolishing that, I lose points. Yeah, okay. Maybe not the play. Hold the circus. I suppose it is just going to be houses up here at this point. Why is that blocked? I guess by the mason? Like maybe this gap there actually blocks it, or? Oh, it's actually probably the left-right distance. Like this does not, now that I look at it, does not look wide enough. Yeah, huh, okay. Well, I think I placed those up against each other. Oh, you know what it is, actually? This jumped onto this building, and I didn't catch it at the time, and I've already placed this, so I can't, can't take it back now. But these jump into alignment and rob me of this little bit of space because these weird buildings that overlap the platform aren't quite right. That is slightly inconvenient, not a big deal. I'm not gonna rage over it. Not a lot of tempting placements around here. I think I might just get that square out of the way to try and, trying to get a better shape to make that spot work, but lots of possibilities. And then there's even my double shaman over here. I don't know. Yeah, there we go. So do a little bit of that. 17 pointer is good. That's got to be close to fitting. I mean, I see that it doesn't, but I think just because this one is too far up, they're not quite in alignment. Still, these scores are much more like what I was hoping for. I mean, not 11, but if I could get another 16, 17. 8 isn't it? Alright, maybe there is just one. There might be a couple of houses, though. Since their larger detection lets me get these shamans. Or maybe not. There's not much for me over here, that's for sure. So in light of that, I could do this. And then, yeah, that got me a couple more good placements. Can I get 2? If I go 30 and then do another leg up into there, I bet I can. Just means being a little patient with my next mansion, but I may get another mansion, and if not, I can probably, yeah, get a pretty good house in that same spot. We'll take that house. Now that we have another of this shape, we probably just have to write that off as a loss and undo that one. Place that one in a spot I don't love, because you know, I could maybe fit 2 of the small L's up here, but well, okay. Who knows if I'm even getting 2 small L's? Because I only have 2 houses left, and this one isn't the right shape. Or 12 that also helps the circus. Still not quite worth it. 18 it is. That's not going to fit. Another 18 is pretty good though. Okay. Now we can do a 16 point, multiple different 16 circuses around here. I'll place one right by the market just for easier fish kiting. And actually, you know what? I might be able to use my shrink here. I have 3 shrinks remaining, so if I can get any value out of them, I want to look for it. Seems like in this case it's just going to bring me into additional mansions I don't need, but yeah, not going to work around here. I guess maybe I should have shrunken a mansion to go up in there, but I might end up doing something else with that space anyway. Shrinking a tavern or something silly. Shrinking a sawmill. Okay. Speaking of something silly with taverns, let's think about... Over here is really peak tavern heights. So this is a good tavern. It would only really get a brewery positioned right here, but that's a good enough brewery anyway. So maybe I just do one brewery here, take the 11 point negative, because they'll all score off of these hops fields. And then do this guy, and 29 versus 34. I think having it in a much better spot for my tavern is relevant. I'm aware that I now have a wall platform. I don't think putting a brewery on it is the play, but I thought about it. That might be a shrink. Okay, so up here, I can get 67, no problem. That's pretty good. Then a 70, maybe using a shrink over here to create a placeable spot. Yeah, great. Okay, and then there's kind of a free 46. Alternately, if I could place it in here, that would be a 50-something, 58 if I can make this work. With a shrink, I might be able to place it right there. Hey, alright. I mean, yeah, that seems like effective play. So that's a 62. I can't beat that over here. 52, yeah. I'm impressed, honestly. 62 is better than I was thinking this would get. So those are some interesting shrink usages, but I don't hate it. Still have one demolish. There's an extra mansion, and it's not the shape that I was thinking about, maybe fitting into there. It does, however, fit in here. So I got that 30 whatever for this one. I think it was literally a 30, and now I can also get the 23. That paid off. The other idea, obviously, is the wall platform. So let me be smart before I just rush through this final placement. I very much feel like this island's sort of wrapping up, so you might have detected that I'm moving things along, but that doesn't mean that I want to just throw away perfectly good points. I mean, it being +6 on the mansion is also relevant, so this could be, like, if I can find, it's almost a 38. There we go. 38 is a great score. Now we go back to walls. So this wall dead ends somewhere back in there. I can't exactly... It might actually be inside that. It might be right there. Little hard to tell. Also seems like it might be a little hard to connect up to. Also, I think there was just a placeable 18. Did I see that right? Don't know how it could possibly be placeable here, but if it shows up again, I'll consider it. I do have to find places for 5 of these. Okay, so a 42 kind of obviously seems like a good enough wall. I would love to make a connection there, but... Oh, there we go. Just have to jump around the outside like that. Classic wall builder etiquette. So, multiple 27s. 37s, pardon. I'll take a 40, though. Yeah, I mean, this is just... defensively, this is really what you're seeking from your walls. You want a 45-degree angle upwards that goes straight through the ground. That's peak military efficiency. 29 without a linkage. Getting a gate onto this might be a bit of a struggle, but I also thought this one was impossible, so what do I know? I saw a really good number pop up there for a second, I think. Yeah, 35 that doesn't connect anything, but I will be able to build off of it on the ground. 52! Whew! Yeah, this again reinforces that if I was just willing to be really patient and cheesy with walls, which I kind of am, I could probably always find these ludicrous, slightly glitchy, quirked up walls. Maybe not, but I mean, that 50, I don't think anybody was expecting that to connect, but somehow it did. You just gotta fiddle with it enough. Okay, that's interesting, and it makes the next one easy, but let me see if I can do something different / better. So that's a 29, and I think the one I was seeing here is better than that, though, right? It's like a 34. Come on. You know you want to connect. sloppy 31. There's definitely a 34. Okay. So 23 is like a really good non-linked wall. No, I think the 20 points is going to be hard for me to beat, unless I can find something, you know, like this that is placeable where it just clearly shouldn't be. I mean, even this one doesn't feel like it should work, but I'll take it. Whatever algorithm is searching for valid placeable ground is really doing me some favors with going diagonally up onto the corner of the plateau, diagonally down into the water, diagonally back up onto the plateau, just to dodge around how much of the exact plateau's dimensions I'm using. And this is some value gained from the Tetris block house. A normal square house would probably not allow this kind of buffoonery, since it would fully occupy that corner. Okay, come on, we want better than a 14. Link up. Help me out here. I did on a previous island manage to place two walls, like one here and one here, that were linked at both ends and not getting minuses from each other. So it's just like a 40-point wall that was protecting nothing and closing nothing. That was kind of interesting. And unfortunately, now I might have ran out of tricks. I don't know if I'm going to be able to convince the game to let me slip a wall through here. So far, it doesn't seem interested in it. Perhaps to that end, we look over here again. Oh, I mean, okay. So just one click inward along the outside of the circus does work. 31's not bad. It's not like stupendous, but 40 is better. That looks highly defensible to me. I am not a military strategist, but oh, so there's 8 points off my monument. Had to unlock it though. 17 at no cost. Huh. Bunch of these like semi-placeable locations entice me, but are not allowed. I did place one in there, okay. 19. Yeah, I'll take a 19. And then sawmill-wise, so I have 5 lumberjacks that are all centered right around this sawmill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And nothing else is going to count even close, so I did think about putting my wall platform out here for this purpose, but I don't think that would be worth it though. Okay, so let me start with this 14 and then see if there's, oh, another 14. Okay, I'll take one look around to see if I can make something better work, but it seems like 14 is, yeah, that's plenty. What? Not even this fits? Kind of seems like it should. Okay, so do I demolish this in order to place this? Seems like a really weak demolish, but I don't want to demolish a tower. I mean, the fish kite is going to get 15 points for each of those I leave in place. I don't need to do this yet. I'll hold on to it. I'll place my towers first. That'll give me much more information. Okay, start with your highest up towers. Looks like 120 would be like the perfect tower, and there might not even be that, but like I'm seeing some. Yeah, 120. Okay, 121. Not in a placeable spot, but perhaps we can find a way around that. Should I be leaving tower spots? Am I like messing myself up with my Islanders 1's expectation that I can just place them on a cliffside like this? Speaking of cliffside like this is good enough for me. 111 initial tower. Now I do have to start being really thoughtful about when I can... Actually, you know what? Taking my level up to full value is valuable enough to me that I might do some tower scouting to try and find a tower that just barely scores me enough points. So I need a tower worth just over 100, and I just did a 111, so it's going to be hard to find many more in that range. Is it impossible or hard? I guess I take a lower score but then place the sawmill, and then I can do the level up boon. So benefit of this one is it's close to the other, which makes it easier to avoid with my future exterior towers. Given that I have 3 more to place, I think it is guaranteed that I'm going to have to eat a negative, so we'll start with that negative. And then we have to place a sawmill that unlocks more buildings. So 14 is not quite good enough. If I demolish this, it is -5, and then plus 35. So I do get over the lip. If I get like a market, or God forbid a temple, or a warehouse, I mean, actually, this warehouse is the one I'd destroy, but there's a bunch of buildings I would rather destroy, but I think I am so much more likely to get like one random house, one random field, and I like how this math works out, so we're going to do it. We're going to take a 35, a great score. Yeah, that would not lead to a destruction. So now this is 273 points. That's a pretty darn valuable boon. Would I destroy a fountain? I mean, it's probably not, given that I have these incredible spots I didn't even think about. Dang. A little too tall to place underneath, but I can still get a 45. Thinking about using the water platform to achieve a higher score somewhere does not seem possible. Scanning. Nah. 45 it is. That's the good place. Feels like it almost lets me move it under. Like, I can't quite. I do literally bump into this support beam, but interesting. Okay, so this could actually be held on to. I don't need to place it yet. Now, next tower. I think as squirreled up in here as I can is going to be my best bet. 85. That is actually placeable. Looks good. Sadly, none of this is. These little corners here aren't quite enough. Okay, we'll do the most outward 85 that I can. and then come far enough over this way to not detect. This actually might prove that this inner tower was a mistake, because this, I think, would not have been tagged by the lower tower. I'm punished for disobeying my own suggestion to start with your higher up towers. But maybe I'll need to tank another minus anyway, so who cares, but 55. And then the final one will be out here somewhere. Yeah. Negative 30 is just a lot. I mean, there's even a 48 that just tanks it all. I obviously should have taken this and not the low ground one, now that I think about it, but that would have been 108, which was higher than I did take. Probably should have thought about that more. This is even like a kind of impactful thing, but that's not going to stop me from moving on with a tower out here. Yeah, so this would be truly ideal placement is like right here. Wonder if 64 versus 60, 66. I mean, that's, you know, a few points. Can I get? Yeah, I can make more points over here just by scoring off trees. So that's a 24 instead of a 14. So it's a 10-point difference, and this was a 66, and this is a 60. So it is like a 4-point better sequence to do it out here. I will, however, still hold the water platform because it's time for the 165-point fish kite. Okay, can I do better than 165 by avoiding the temple? Doesn't seem likely. I see 100. Nah. This is just so central. It has everything but that one tower. 165 points, I mean. It's pretty good. $20, 18, 19. Yeah, okay. It's funny how it tags every field except for one. And then my highest score is probably going to be that 24. Yeah. All right. We wrapped that up in a pretty timely manner. I'm pleased with that. Now, let's do a couple glamour shots before we check where we are on the leaderboard. Wait, no, sorry. We have our gorgeous resort, hermitage, park, shaman, multiple mountain shrine collection. This was created through the use of verdure and bloom, or blossom, I think it's called. We have our newly honored mill and field empire. Fields are good now. I need to reconsider how early I take them and how much prioritization I give them. This worked out really well, and it did not take almost any cost. Like, this is not land that I needed for something else. I did not miss out on points by placing things over here. I guess the first mill, I got 0 or 20 or whatever instead of like 30, but because it does have some scores just with the beam. So I probably got 18 points or something for my first mill, when I could have gotten 25 to 40 by placing it in and among my city, but obviously it paid itself back. And then the bulk of my score came from this very dense, very squirreled up city area. I was expecting to build into that water in the Midland a little more, but I ultimately ended up just clustering around this cliffside here, based around how wall platforms and plateaus clipped into the wall could function. Obviously, this outer city here that we're scrolling over now was pretty profitable. as a good way to continue building mansions once I'd given up the priority spots. This double city center here, I did take a -4, if I recall correctly, and I think it paid off. I have a ton of masons just sitting here to make this very valuable temple, which I was able to range extend and score increase, utilizing the extra boons of this constellation island. And I think this little area back here, I made the right call judgment-wise. I think just, scoring these gathering buildings for what they're worth and not worrying too much about trying to squeeze them in among all of these houses ended up being an overall beneficial decision. So that was a good island, and let's see what the next one looks like. I also have several rerolls banked, so I'll be able to have some choice in my next island. And we'll take a look at the leaderboard after these post-island points are added up. Wow, those were some huge boosts there at the end. You love to see it. Yeah, the end island points are no joke. Okay. I would be fine. I haven't actually played with the sauna yet, and this color scheme is appealing, but I'm really looking for an island with some sort of boost. I don't just want a plain island. Okay, they say no. I do want a guild hall. I think the guild hall is, in terms of points per building, quite valuable. And I do love this color scheme, but again, I would like a specialty island. I'm wondering if maybe it won't give you one, or if there's some sort of restrictions on that, but I'm going to re-roll at least. I'm willing to spend 3 more rerolls. If after 3 I have an acceptable choice, I'm going to save my last 2. But, oh, okay. Leyline is exactly what I was looking for, and I really don't want travel. So Pyre is okay. It is a reasonably good scoring building, and I want to play with the ley lines more to build up my war chest. This is effectively saying, this island is worth 4 extra boons, or maybe 3, but 3 to 5 extra boons, most likely 4. And that's a lot of value. I mean, even the constellation one only gives you 2 extra, so we're going to take that, take a look at the island, and then this video will be over. I hope you enjoyed watching it. This one was a bit of a mammoth, but we made some good progress. This island is pink and pretty, and I like it. This is a pleasing color scheme. I don't love the terrain, honestly, but wall platforms are going to go hard here. Like if I can get a wall platform right over this, some water platforms to make more of this space buildable are going to be important, and I might even think about how I use the coastline in order to create that. I don't think I'm going to record this one. I think I need to rest my voice a little bit, but I want to keep playing. So you will see the end result of this island probably put it at the beginning of the next video, so you can enjoy that. But thank you all for watching. I hope you had a good time. Hope that you enjoyed this mammoth of an island, this high score run. Oh, I did say I was going to show off the leaderboard, where I have jumped up to 4th. I was 7th previously. And you can also, looking at how many islands have been completed, I think you can see a a comparison between myself and the others here. I'm still on single digits, so I fully expect to be vying for those top spots with that 300,000 score, hopefully surpassing it. We'll see how I manage to keep this momentum up. I might get some really bad islands. You never know. I might lose. But we will keep playing in the next video, keep making progress. That hasn't updated yet. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you here next time.